Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Naruto Shippuden episode 29. What happened last time?
Last time was one of the most epic fights in Naruto history. It was Guy Squad versus themselves. And they were able to overcome it in the most complicated and interesting way I have seen in the history of my anime watching history. They just were stronger.
Yeah. It was a sight to behold, to say the least. But we're about to get into more of it this episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you leave a like and subscribe. Please do that. Really helps us out. And check out some of our other videos if you're interested. But we're getting right into this after I tell you about our Patreon, patreon.com/boldcast. If you just can't wait for the next episode to come out on YouTube, you go to our Patreon to get 5 episodes ahead of Naruto and a week ahead of some of our other shows, as well as get a bunch of other perks. You can also get uncut episodes, 5 episodes ahead, and all the previous ones on our channel if you're interested in that. And I'll just get right into this after I tell you it's not a market substitute. Support the official release. Watch on legal channels like Netflix or Crunchyroll, or buy manga or the Blu-rays or whatever you gotta do to support the official release. We're providing you our reaction and review. This is not a free place to watch the show. We use some of the footage to inform you on what we're talking about, but it is not an alternative to watching on legal channels. Support the official release. Let's go!
Okay, what happens to them now that they're defeated? Do they just disappear or sink back into the ground?
What you're actually seeing is the real dead guy. The imposter lives on and takes his place.
A worthy adversary. I'd expect no less from a clone of me.
I look like a gingerbread man.
Alright, first Tentens and then Lee's, and we're wrapped up with this fight. Okay, what happened to Lee's clone?
Does she have to collect all those weapons, or like?
I imagine she does, but like you don't know, you don't see it. It's really time consuming.
When you summon stuff, like when you summon a creature, it like can be somewhere. Can you just leave the weapons there, and then when you use them, they all just come from there?
Well, it's
or
like
there's just new ones every time.
The creature you summon is like elects to go back. A summoning jutsu on an object, I think, just brings it to you.
Mm-hmm. How can she even walk?
Sasori's poison working on her. It's amazing she hasn't already passed out. We have to get back and neutralize that poison, and quickly.
But more than that, there's something I must do. My job isn't done yet.
It's only the sheer force of her will that keeps her conscious.
I hope she passes out so that they can take her to get some help.
This thing she has to do that she push herself so hard.
I'm sorry.
Here we go.
I love how he still just doesn't give a shit that his arm's gone. He literally is he's just cool with it.
He's just over it. Nothing's permanent, that's his thing. It's, you know, true art is an explosion. Mm-hmm. Live fast and die young.
I hope he does.
Lose your arm in the process.
You better fall back a little.
What's he gonna do with this new eye of his?
Mangekyo Sharingan.
Mangekyo Sharingan. Confirmed. So he did, in fact, it wasn't just a new Sharingan. It's literally the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Interesting. I love how Sasuke ditches Kakashi because he thinks that Kakashi can't teach him what he wants. And then as soon as he leaves, Kakashi just gets exactly what he wants. What a fucking idiot.
Oh my god, you know, I never thought of that until right now. I literally never considered that. That's so true.
Absolutely. Could you imagine? Sasuke, there needs to be another way. I'm gonna find Orochimaru because with Kakashi, no one in the Leaf Village can do anything. No one here even knows how to become powerful. if if Sasuke had literally just like stayed a couple more years.
Oh my god.
I mean, a few years seems like a long time, but I feel like you know.
He's doing something. What do you think he's doing?
I don't know. Putting him in a genjutsu of some kind?
Interesting shape. It's kind of like Itachi's, but different.
Yeah, it's different. Ooh.
Visual jutsu.
He looks so messed up.
No.
I like how Naruto climbs up the thing when he could just walk up it.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
What kind of jutsu is this?
And it looks super weird.
Yeah.
It looks like he's like underwater.
Ah!
He looks, oh my god!
You now.
You keep slipping over there somehow. He clearly hasn't mastered it, whatever it is.
Yeah. He also only has one eye, so...
It's like hurting him, or...
Yeah, he's probably gonna go start going blind.
My arm is being sucked into oblivion by this damn jutsu.
His other arm.
Yeah. It's like a little... I don't even know. Oh.
Oblivion. Just sucked it into a black hole.
Oh my god. Well, he doesn't have arms anymore.
He'll have to use...
Still not very good at controlling the size or position of the barrier space.
Barrier space.
But I'll get it right this time.
Again? When Itachi uses it twice in one day, it fucks him up. And he is an Uchiha. This is like...
And especially, like, one of the most powerful
Yeah.
Uchiha. Kakashi, please.
The most powerful that we know of.
Kakashi just becomes permanently blind after this.
This is what Obito... this is what you're gonna do with Obito's gift? Oh, it's like he's breaking line of sight. That's gotta be a killer headache. He's managing to just get out of it.
It's so frustrating.
Oh, it's like on his neck.
Decapitates him. Please let it actually work. Don't let this be for nothing. Get him. No! This is not something to use on a moving target.
He doesn't have a choice. He's out. But you got his arm. He's gonna have to chew the detonating clay with his real mouth.
Let him get away. Well, good. I shook him off.
It's once again doesn't care that he lost an
Wait.
arm. Get him! Well, either way, just getting him off that bird accidentally chops through Gaara's body as well.
Shadow Clone Jutsu! Gaara!
Naruto, please just go and finish him off.
Gaara!
He has no arms.
Kakashi Sensei, you alright?
Yeah, I think so.
I want to know how he learned to do
Don't
that.
worry, Gaara. We'll get you out. Hey, Gaara!
Naruto, your enemy is still alive, and even though he doesn't have arms, he seems to not give a shit whenever he doesn't have arms.
Which is even scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he can't do anything without his arms. I'm still concerned that he's so calm about it.
Lee,
Pick up the pace there, Tenten, or we'll leave you behind.
what are you talking about? I was only dragging my heels waiting for you guys to catch up.
Oh, sorry. When Naruto and the rest expect us to keep our rendezvous with them. Why so slow, you two? Hurry it up. Now what we have done, Tenten, you let them get ahead of us.
Huh? Well, we'll just see who gets ahead of who.
Kakashi, are you there?
I feel like it's more efficient to jump because you're not like using as much energy.
Can you see what's going on with Kakashi and the others? Yes, I see them. They're still engaged with the enemy. It appears they've recovered the Kazekage. However...
Oh.
Hey, come on. Gaara. Gaara!
First it was my left arm. Sand
Finally, some acknowledgement of the lost limbs.
crushed by the Sanjin Churiki on my right arm too. I can't use any jutsu. It's over.
Unless they just don't come for you. Which they should.
You will pay for this.
Yeah. Maybe someday I'll give you a rematch, kid. You've let down your guard. Damn it!
This Jinchuriki is nothing.
Dropped your guard, didn't you? You should be more careful.
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
Oh, knee to the chest.
Oh.
Fuck. Holy shit, Naruto!
It's clay. A substitution.
How? How?
Looks like it's about that time again.
I guess Kakashi's never seen that.
No. What'd you think of that one?
So, he does indeed have the Mangekyo Sharingan,
Don't look. Sorry.
which is interesting, and I want to know how he got it. And that also makes more sense as to why he knew about the loss of vision for Itachi.
I thought... Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. That's why Itachi was like, Kakashi, have you...
Yeah.
And then it was just, that's it, and then cut to something, somebody else talking.
Yeah, and his looks different, which is why I was not sure whether it was going to be that or it was going to be, like, a different... Like, the, like, knockoff version, the Netflix adaptation of the Mangekyo Sharingan. But I guess not. I guess it is, and he can do all the same stuff, but it's probably a lot harder for him, considering he has only one eye, and it's not even actually his eye.
Well, we haven't seen Itachi do this, is the other thing. We're not sure if he can do this jutsu. Like, we don't know. We just haven't seen him do it. This specific thing of, like, creating a void or, like, a black hole or whatever.
Oh, you mean Itachi? We don't know if Itachi can do
thought
that?
I said Itachi.
You said Kakashi, I think.
I think I said Itachi.
Oh, maybe I just misheard you. Yeah, and we don't know if Kakashi can do the, like, more visual jutsu, because that's not really his specialty.
Just a clarification, visual jutsu just means, I forget what the Japanese word is, but that's just what refers to an eye jutsu. Like, like a
But, like,
jutsu of the eye.
okay, then a genjutsu, isn't
No,
that, like...
no. By visual jutsu, they just mean Sharingan jutsu, or Byakugan jutsu,
but
just an eye-based jutsu.
The stuff that Itachi was doing was, like, a genjutsu.
Yeah, but it was a visual jutsu, like a genjutsu cast from the Sharingan.
Okay.
That's what it is. So that's when they say visual jutsu, they aren't referring to just what Kakashi's doing. It refers to any jutsu cast from any visual jutsu. Like,
Okay.
the Sharingan is a visual jutsu in itself, even just the normal Sharingan, or the Byakugan. They later start calling it visual prowess. It's just a translation thing. So just when they say visual jutsu, understand that they're talking about Sharingan. They could be talking about anything under the umbrella of Sharingan or Byakugan, or I think it's not, Kenjutsu is sword jutsu. I forget what it's called, but just clarify. I'm not trying to throw you off. I'm just clarifying that's what they mean when they're saying that.
Well, what I was saying was that we don't know if Kakashi can do any of the stuff that Itachi can do.
True.
Either.
True.
Because Itachi's whole thing is like genjutsu and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Kakashi doesn't really seem to do that very often, or even at all, potentially.
True.
Other than he did it for Sakura.
For a demonstration, yeah. But we haven't seen him.
It doesn't seem to be his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see about that. Like I said, if Sasuke found out about this, he'd be feeling like quite the idiot right about now.
Yeah, quite the fucking
makes
moron.
Makes a shitty deal with Orochimaru so that he will literally die from. Gets like super messed up, turned into this horrible monster. Kakashi just back home. Oh man, I kind of wish Sasuke was here so I could ask him a little bit about this. Oh well, guess I better just figure it out myself. Like, imagine if Sasuke had just been like, Kakashi, tells him the story, and I just really need to also get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Do you think you could maybe help me out with this? Well, Sasuke, since you're my only student...
Like, he just turns it on?
No, like, he obviously didn't have it then, but I feel like probably since his first fight with Itachi, he'd probably been trying to figure out how to get that for himself. Mm-hmm. And he obviously figured out a way to do it. And I doubt it was killing whoever was his best friend. So... Because
apparently everyone he knew is dead. And Guy is still alive. So unless he has another best friend in the background somewhere.
Yeah. But... Yeah, so... Sucks to be Sasuke, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's like he made a little, like, almost like a black hole or something, like... barrier space is what it's called. Mm-hmm. Sucking things into oblivion. Interesting. Definitely something that would be really, really cool if your opponent wasn't flying on a bird with unpredictable movements in the sky, going at crazy speeds. But still, a really, really powerful jutsu that they can't, like, see it. They can, like, it's there, but it's not like a knife where you can, like, see its trajectory and take that into account and dodge it.
Yeah, it's just he's looking at you with it, and that's it. Then Naruto at the end, the fox chakra is bubbling over.
Yeah, he was really ready to kill him, but somehow he substituted himself with clay.
Even though he doesn't
have arms, so... Maybe he was just clay the entire time, and that's why he didn't give a shit that his arms were gone. But that would also be kind of silly. I don't know how he could have done that without arms. But I guess maybe we'll find out.
Perhaps. The substitution thing is kind of a mystery. Because at the beginning, like, just speaking generally about substitution, when it's introduced... when it's first introduced and Kakashi, like, turns himself into a log, or, like, replaces himself with a log, it's literally... using, like, sleight of hand, kind of like a magician would use. You, like, swap places with something at the moment of impact. Yeah. And then you go hide up in a tree or something. That's the way it's introduced. And it has to be
something that's, like, there as well. Or, like, they bring along a rabbit so that they can...
Exactly.
So that they have something to substitute with. But I feel like as it's gone on, it's just sort of, like...
Become, you attack this thing, but my consciousness and body, my body and soul were teleported nearby. Yeah, it's weird how it like changes like that.
And sometimes they do point out like, oh, he switched at this exact moment, like with Gaara. And sometimes it's really obvious, and sometimes it's like, did they find a point in there, or was it just...
where would have Deidara have switched himself with clay there exactly?
And how could he have switched himself with that much clay? He didn't even have that much clay.
He was running low. He was running low by his own admission to himself.
First of all, he ran out, then he ran low, then he was still running low, and then he was running
kept
low
saying
again.
he was running low for the entire arc.
He pulled out an entire body's worth of clay. Maybe he substituted himself.
Was that all in his bag?
I was thinking maybe he somehow substituted himself with the other half of the bird, but at the same time, he didn't have arms. So unless there's something that you can do that I don't know about, I don't like it. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of excuse for it, but that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know how he could have done that.
There's only one way to find out, and that's to watch the next episode of Naruto, unless there's anything more you want to say first.
No, I'm just still kind of thinking about that, because I don't know, like, the whole thing is you have to make hands. I don't think you can just substitute by just willing it.
Well, that's the thing about the substitution. It's a technique. Like, jutsu is the word, but it's technique is the actual translation. So it's a technique to switch places with a bunch of clay. Like, you could just do that. I don't think that technically requires hand sign. But, like, the fucking, like, barrier between it being magic and just sleight of hand is so blurred, like, as it goes on through the series. I don't know how it's possible or how it works at this point. Because sometimes it's it wasn't a clay clone, because if it was a clay clone, the substitution would have been acting about as Deidara before, but it's implied by the fact that it's substitution that he just switched places with it in the middle of maybe Naruto punching him or getting pinned to the ground by the clones.
Yeah, because it seemed like it was him when he was in that tree.
But it's not a clay clone, because it had to be him, because it's a substitution specifically. So he substituted himself after that. But if they said, oh shit, was it a clay clone? That would be different, because then it could have been the clay clone up in the tree, but it wasn't. They specifically said it was a substitution. So I have no fucking idea how it works to this point. Maybe I missed something later in Shippuden that explains the difference, but it seems like they kind of just gave up on, like, making it make sense and just sort of, like, went with it. I don't know, though. There's a lot of stuff that
I'm
not
that mad about it, but I feel like it was established as one thing, and now it's just getting really blurry on, like, I'm not like, oh, wow, that was so cool that he, like, at the split second substituted himself. I'm just like, okay, I guess you just made him substitute himself so that Naruto wouldn't murder him in that moment.
It makes sense that it's, that if the character was so fast, but Deidara I don't think is too fast for Naruto to track, you know?
Yeah, and he has no arms.
And he has no arms, so, like, how would he form that intricately?
And obviously it would have been him the entire time, because when he got the arm snatched off, there was blood everywhere.
Yeah, and when Naruto was punching him, there was blood, but then there wasn't after that. After the substitution. Anyway, whatever. It's not a big deal, I guess. It's just, like, you know... Because it makes so much sense when it's first introduced. It's like, oh, a substitution. Because Kakashi is so much faster than these literal 12-year-olds who, like, can't see this Jonin switching out a log at the last possible second. He's still too fast for them now. Like, it would make sense that in front of them, he could be so fast as to switch himself out in a puff of smoke and, like, appear in the tree. You know? Yeah. But now, where a guy with no arms is pinned down by four clones, and being beaten the shit out of by Naruto, can just switch him out with a mannequin, like a duplicate. Like he did a little swoop on the hairstyle before he ducked out of there. Like he literally did his substitution's hair and like made it look like him before he dipped out of there. Anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed. 5 episodes ahead on Patreon. Hope you subscribe. Hope you like the video. And hope you enjoyed most of all. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
We'll see you next one. Bye-bye.